So who wants to increase their profits when trading the future markets? Okay, I'm going to show you like a simple trick in which you can do that may allow you to stay in your trades longer. Now, I've talked about this before, but it actually works. So people always ask me, how do I actually trail behind price? How can I stay in my trades longer so I can maximize the amount of money or profits that I can make when trading? So, for most of us, we're looking for maybe 1 to 2 solid setups a day. If you can get into one good trade and you're able to hold it through, then that's all you really need, okay? Because you'll make some money each and every day doing this. And I always talk about, the goal is to be green on the day. So when it comes to profitability, being able to extend it, being able to grow, your profits in a shorter amount of time, okay, versus having to take multiple setups. Let me show you a quick way of going about how to do this. Now, if we look at the market, I know most of you are probably saying, well, the market kind of range. We're in a wedge today. There wasn't a lot of great opportunities. There were a few. I will say that now. Okay, like this was a key area of demand. I talked about it in the live recorded trading session today for all those who are the Ultra Elite members. If you are an Ultra Elite member, the video is posted where I covered the trade breakdowns, went through the market today, surrounding structure on the NASDAQ futures, okay, and the trades that I actually traded. I took 2 of them and captured both of them in the video. So you may want to watch that. For all those who aren't an elite member, the link is down in the description portion of the video. It's very inexpensive really to join on a monthly basis. We're talking about cents or pennies on the dollar a day. So you may want to become a member. The Discord is free. Both links are down below. So if you click on the elite, the Ultra Elite link to become a member, make sure to choose the 3rd tier, and that's going to give you direct access to the live recorded trading sessions, the market recap videos that I do, the trade breakdown videos, the video playlist, and a great video covering market structure. Now, all right, so let's take a look at this right quick. I'm going to show you 2 examples of what I'm talking about and how you can go about staying in your trade longer, or at least a technique or strategy that actually works when we are trading off the range bar charts, okay? Some of you may trade tick, volume, or time-based, the same thing, okay? I'm going to show you right quick, so pay attention. Now, I talked about this supply zone earlier, and the market came back to it around about 1150, okay? Now, why is it a supply zone? I mean, you should be able to see it. The market was coming down. It was breaking structure below these lows. It made a lower high and pushed lower and broke the structure here. But prior to all that, it had already made a lower high right here coming to the downside. So it didn't break this high here, which is a major high. You got to be careful, because if the market doesn't go up and take out structure and then it starts to make a lower high, look to see what its next approach is going to do. Are we going to start breaking structure coming lower? If so, and then we start making lower highs, then, look to see if there's going to be a nice area where there's aggressive selling. This is on my higher base 120 range or 120 range bar chart, okay? The market pulls back to this high probability supply area right here around about 1150. At that time, I'm looking. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and mark up the zone, okay? Market structure is important. That's why I always emphasize it within the videos, okay? That concept is extremely important, because if you can't understand which way the market is actually trending, then how are you going to know the direct way to trade, right? So I'm telling you, if you're not an elite member, you may want to think about becoming an Ultra Elite member, okay? So the market breaks structure here, aggressive selling, that's supply, and the market comes back to it. The biggest part to all this is the break of structure. We're making lower highs. It's breaking structure lower, and we have a imbalance or a gap resting back at the actual supply zone, okay? Now, let's break it down a little further than that. We'll go ahead and mark up that first zone. I talk about in my strategy about multi-chart confluence, marking up your higher time frame or higher base charts first, okay? Whether it's supply or demand zone. Here, this is a supply zone. I'll mark it up. I'll wait for the market to patiently come back to the actual zone right there. The last thing I like to do then is move down to my lower base chart, okay? For me, it's on the 24 range or 24 range bar chart is where I'm going to go to. As the market's retracing back to the zone here, I see it making, an attempt towards making higher highs and higher lows. But looking back at the higher base or range bar chart here, we are at a key area of supply, right? So when the market gets back into the larger box, that's off the 120 range bar chart, that's an area of supply. I want to go ahead and find a more narrow or more precise entry point to get into a trade going short, right? So the thing about it is this right here. I want to mark up a lower range bar chart supply zone. Okay, that's on the inside of the larger range bar chart, the 120. So this is it right here. When the market taps the blue box, it's already tapped our higher range bar chart supply zone, but it has to tap into a lower base, say my entry chart, 24 range bar chart supply zone. When it taps into it, that's when I'm going to execute my trade going short. For me, when I get the first candle close, red candle close to the downside, showing bearish momentum to the downside. So I'm going to get in probably a trade right here around 21,445. I got into this trade somewhere on the NASDAQ, which was a part, I recorded it. It's in the live recorded trading session video today. So again, please watch that if you haven't, if you're an ultra elite member. So I'm going to get to the trade. Say, for example, right here, I'm going to execute, I'm going to enter my trade right there. Now, how do I go about being able to stay into the trade longer, or, once I'm into it? People always ask me, when to place your stop loss. Wherever the rejection takes place at the lower zone, place your stop loss once you get, if you get in here like at 21,445, stop loss is going to go in at the back end when the market rejected, say here at 21,451, but you want to give yourself a few points breathing room above that, because they love to come down and swing back and test, even to the tick right back to this high right here. Now, once I'm into the trade and I see the market swinging lower, okay, and it swings back, now it's doing what? A lower high attempt. Then it breaks structure coming to the downside. My stop goes from wherever it is up here back down to here. Each time that it makes a lower high, I'm moving my stop from this point now to this point. So I've already moved it twice, from here to here to here. Each time it breaks structure, it makes a new lower high if we're going short from an aggressive area where there's supply at, right? So that's the key to it, is being able to, that will allow you to, or the trick that will allow you to stay into and maximize your profits longer. Now, you just wait for it, like exactly where you start moving your stop at the lower high every time it breaks structure lower, or every lower high it makes. If it comes back and stops you out, you got your profits locked in. So let's say you got in here at 445, right? And now your stop is locked in right here at 21,437, right? Then at the breaking structure right here. If it comes back up and stops you out right here, you still profited something. You didn't lose, anything. Even though, maybe you have made, let's see, 445 down to, what did I say, 37. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, that's like 8 points right there. Okay, so you locked in 8 points profit right there. Again, if the market was really continuing making lower lows and lower highs, you just keep moving lower and lower and lower. In this case here, they went back up. They may have stopped you out. That's fine. That's going to happen. You're not going to win. Not well, you would have won there, but you're not going to. Sometimes you're not going to be able to weather the storm at all times, because we don't control the markets. They shift it around and pull back and then move and go in another direction. Okay, but this was a valid opportunity to go short. Now, let me show you another example of one right after that, where that was a short opportunity. Then the market does what? We're in a wedge here. The market's coming lower as breaking structure, but then it starts to do what? Push higher, pull back, and break structure above this area. So we got a valid demand zone off the 120 range bar chart where it broke structure. It pulls back to the zone right here, okay, around, what is this around here? 21,450. This is that area right here, okay? So let me put it on all charts. Sorry about that. So we can see it. First, let me draw it up. Bring this down. Oops. Let's see. Okay. The zone is right here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on all the charts so we can see it on the 24 range bar chart. Now, here it is. The market comes, it taps into what? It taps into our 120 range bar chart demand zone, right? We just marked up. Then we move down to a 24 range. Now, here is a demand zone resting on the inside of the larger zone. That's the confluence we need to actually take an entry or look for the entry to go long. It also has a high probability demand zone. Okay, aggressive buying, come back. Okay, we're looking for this opportunity right here. It comes back, taps into the zone. For me, I'm going to be aggressive and go long the moment it breaks right here, the first candle at 21,440. Where does stop loss go? Right here below 433, the point of rejection back at the 24 range bar chart demand zone. Okay, give yourself a few points breathing room, maybe down here to say 21,430, 3 or 4 points right there. Again, each time the market makes, in this case here, a new higher low, okay, if this right here was a lower high, this right here is a higher low. Each time it does that and breaks structure to the upside, I'll move my stop up. Okay, so in this case right here, if the market, if I have my stop here and then the market broke structure right here and I put my stop right here, okay, yeah, it comes back and it stops you out, and you didn't really, make much, if at all, anything here. So just be careful when they come back down to maybe this area right here. All right, they're just retesting the same point of where you enter your trade at. So you may not want on the first approach where, like right here, it makes a higher low and it's tapping right back into the actual demand zone. If you put your stop or move it up right here and then it pushes up and breaks structure and comes right back to the actual hits the starts moving back towards the demand zone, you might want to just kind of leave your stop down here until it moves away from the actual demand zone, meaning making a higher low away from the area of demand, which is right here. So when it does like this, higher low, and it moves away and it's not coming back towards this area, then you can move your stop. So we make say a high here, then maybe your stop is here, move it right here. Higher low right here, break into the upside. Now your stop comes from here to here. Each time it's doing that, move your stop loss up, okay, to the next higher low position. And as long as it does that, like right, if my stop was, I'm gonna go ahead and show you. I'm gonna take an arrow line. If my stop was right here, it broke structure right here above these highs, I'll move my stop here. Okay, once it broke above that, my stop goes here. And it still hasn't came back yet, right? Broke structure above these highs and this high here. Okay, my stop is going to go right here. Then it breaks structure above these highs. My stop is going to go, break structure above these highs here. My stop goes here, breaks here. Okay, and then I'm gonna bring this down. Sorry about that. And then it breaks structure more to the upside. My stop goes right here. Now we're up here, and our entry point was going to be right here. If we go in aggressive right here at 21,440, say, okay. Now we were able to capitalize, and the markets ran up to what, 21,475. Even myself, when I'm into a trade, things happen so fast, and my personally is something that I'm working on myself to be able to maximize and stay into a trade longer. This is a good approach or trick to be able to do so. Moving it up each time, it makes either a higher low if it's if you're pulling off a demand zone to go long, or if you're going short, each time it makes a lower high. All right, so I just want to share that technique with anyone out there, and this is how you can grow your account. And you can also go about, making an easy $1,000 on a day. And that's pretty easy to do, but even $500 a day, $250 on a day, it's simply easy to do that by using a simple trick or technique like this, which allows you to stay into your trades longer and capitalize more on more profit. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Now, to anyone out there who is, again, like I said, if you want to become an Ultra Elite member and gain access to all that additional quality video content, I'm telling you, the link is down in the description portion of the video. Right below the Discord link. The Discord is free to join. The Ultra Elite membership link is below. Make sure to choose the third tier when you select. Okay, that's going to give you direct access to all the additional private community video content. Outside of that, guys, that's all I have. I appreciate you always tuning in. Those who watch on a daily basis. If I'm newcomers or beginners watching today, first time, please take the time to go ahead and subscribe today by clicking that sub button. Make sure to turn your post notifications on. Okay, click that bell so you don't miss any of the uploaded content in which I pretty much post almost on a daily basis. Okay, but outside of that, if you found value in today's video, please make sure to click that thumbs up button before you click off this or exit. Click that exit. Make sure to click that like button now. Thank you and take care. Have a great weekend too.